These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
Hi there, I'm Jamie Warren with your afternoon update from ABC15 Arizona. ABC15 is keeping you informed about Congressional District 7. Here in Arizona, early voting begins today to fill former Congressman Rahul Grijalva's seat. He died back in March after a long battle with cancer. The special primary elections take place July 15th, with the general election happening on September 23rd. At the state capitol, the $17.3 billion Senate budget plan remains a work in progress as lawmakers are still able to suggest changes, including new spending. The House passed its own budget on Friday without making a deal with Senate Republicans or Governor Hobbs, who has promised to veto the House plan. The Senate and House now have about 2 weeks to reach a budget agreement before a state government shutdown. ABC 15 is watching Washington as the debate over the tax bill continues on Capitol Hill. And just like here in Arizona, the House and Senate have come up with very different proposals, and both could have major impacts to your family's finances. Scripps News Group's Joe St. George is breaking down what you need to know.
While it may be called officially one big beautiful bill, the reality is that for the moment, it is two very different pieces of legislation. There is the House version, which already passed that chamber, and then there is a newly emerging Senate version of the bill in which a vote is expected soon. Republican Senator John Thune leads Republicans in the Senate.
I look forward to taking up these provisions in the very near future as part of our final legislation.
Big difference number one, the child tax credit. The House version increases the child tax credit from $2,000 a year to $2,500 a year. The Senate version only raises it to $2,200. Big difference number two, tax deductions for seniors. The House version creates a new deduction allowing older Americans to deduct $4,000 a year more than younger Americans when they file their taxes. The Senate version would allow a $6,000 deduction. And big difference number three, Medicaid. While the House and Senate version share several similarities when it comes to Medicaid, the Senate is adding a new cap on taxes states can impose, while also expanding work requirements for some on Medicaid. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer reacted to the latest changes.
You couldn't think the Senate could do worse than the House when it came to Medicaid, but they sure did.
While nonpartisan analysis of the Senate version is expected soon, analysis regarding the House's version is already available. A recent letter from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office to lawmakers reads, if the legislation was enacted, U.S. households on average would see an increase in the resources available to them. It goes on to say the changes would not be evenly distributed among households. The agency estimates that in general, resources would decrease for households toward the bottom of the income distribution, whereas resources would increase for households in the middle and top of the income distribution. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Using trees to keep our valley cool during this extreme heat. SRP is partnering with the nonprofit Trees Matter yet again to offer customers 2 free desert-adapted shade trees. You'll need to attend a free virtual workshop to get those trees. There are 3 in total, with the first one happening on June 28th at 10 a.m. You can go to srpnet.com/shade trees to register. There are 6 types of trees to choose from. Today, we are hosting a phone bank for our ABC 15 Water Drive, benefiting St. Vincent de Paul. You'll be able to call in and make a donation, so please be sure to tune in. You could also donate anytime at abc15.com/water.
Tracking your most accurate forecast on this Weather Action Day. I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres. Temperatures starting off hot this morning at 90 degrees at 8 o'clock, 105 at noon, and 113 later on today, along with an ozone high pollution advisory because of the light winds and abundant sunshine in place. So if you have respiratory issues such as asthma, COPD, or bronchitis, You want to limit your time outside on a day like today. Also, because of the extreme heat we are forecasting. Calling for 113 in the valley, 89 there in Flagstaff, and 90s along the Mogollon Rim and toward the White Mountains, and 114 degrees in Lake Havasu City and Bullhead City, where extreme heat warnings take effect later on today through tomorrow and for the rest of central and southern Arizona, essentially now through at least Friday evening. Your 7-day forecast showing temperatures after Friday cooling down. Will still be above 100, though, anywhere from 103 to 107. Flagstaff high staying in the upper 80s through Thursday, mid-80s Friday. Then we drop those temperatures by Friday into the weekend into the 70s and lows in the 40s.
We'll have another update tonight. Until then, you could always get the very latest news, weather, and traffic at abc15.com or by downloading that free ABC15 mobile app.
These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.